Most of you are probably familiar with the stories of Cinderella, Snow White, Hansel and Gretel, and Little Red Riding Hood, probably from the likes of Disney or something like that. But did you know these stories were actually collected by the Brothers Grimm? And we are in Hanau, Germany today to examine the birthplace of these famous brothers. But don't worry if you don't know who they are, because we're going to explain that as we tour the town and look for the statues that are associated with the tales that they collected. But you're probably realizing that I'm not actually in the town streets right now, and that is because I am in Schloss Philippsruhe, or Philippsruhe Palace. And this is an 18th century palace that we're also going to explore today. So you have a 2-for-1 special today. But enough of my jibber jabber. Let's start the adventure. Welcome to the Exploring Author YouTube channel, or welcome back if you're already subscribed. Today we are in Hanau, Germany, and that is the home to the famous Brüder Grimm, or Brothers Grimm. And as you can see right now, I am standing by the statue of Little Red Riding Hood, one of the famous stories that the Brothers Grimm collected over the time. Now you might recognize some of the stories in the statues that we're going to go see today. We're going to go find them. They're all around Hanau in the main part of the town. But you might recognize them from the likes of Disney or maybe another source. But actually the Brothers Grimm collected them. But as we start exploring, we first need to know who were the Brothers Grimm, because we're going to do future episodes all along the German fairy tale route in the future. So who were the Brothers Grimm?
The Brothers Grimm. Jacob and Wilhelm were born right here in Hanau in the mid-1780s. They weren't originally storytellers. They were scholars focused on law, language, and cultural research during a period of political and cultural change in the early 19th century Europe. In the early 1800s, they began collecting stories from people in their social circles and local communities. Many of these stories came from oral traditions passed down through generations. In 1812, they published Children's and Household Tales, a collection that would later include well-known stories like Snow White and Hansel and Gretel. Over time, the stories were edited and refined, becoming more suitable for families, but their original purpose was documentation, not entertainment. Beyond fairy tales, the Brothers Grimm made major contributions to linguistics, including work on one of the most important German dictionaries ever created. Today, their legacy is global, but it all starts here, in Hanau, where two scholars began preserving stories that continue to shape culture.
So as we search for these Brothers Grimm statues, there are two specific sites in the town that are kind of those what is that moments that us travelers like. And one of them is right behind me. This is the Walloon-Dutch Church, built in about 1608. Now what makes this really special is it's actually two churches. You see, back in those days, there were people trying to escape religious persecution. So they held two services. One service, one church was for the Dutch-speaking, one was for the French. But as you can see behind me, there's an open air aspect to that, and that's because it got bombed during World War II. They did restore the Dutch one, but they left the other one, the French one, as an open air concept. So we have a really good segue here for our next What Is That moment, because the congregation here were instrumental in creating what Hanau became as far as being a leader in jewelry and goldsmithing in what is now today Germany. So when we get there, make sure you remember this place. Make sure you remember this congregation was responsible for that second What Is That moment. All right, we have found the last statue, or at least the last statue that we know where it is, or we can find it. They're actually quite hidden, so when you come in here, maybe you can find more than we did. Hopefully, I know there's more, but we just don't have time today to go find the rest of them. But earlier, I talked about the church. And at that church, I said the congregation had a lot to do with the gold industry in Hanau. And Hanau is very, very popular. It was very famous for the gold industry back in the day. So right behind me, the connection, now we're connecting the dots here. Right behind me is the Gold Museum. It is originally, the house is from the 16th century. It was the original town hall. Now it is a gold museum. If you are in Hanau, make sure you stop in there. I've already been inside there. It's really cool, very interesting. But I want to spend more time at the palace, and that is where we're going next. Before we get over to the palace, I do want to send a special shout out to the town of Southport, North Carolina in the United States. I heard I have a lot of people watching from that town. I wish I was there with you on the beach, enjoying the nice weather, I'm sure. But today it's all right. It's pretty great here as well. But now, on to the palace. We have made it to the Schloss, or to the palace. This place is spectacular. It has the fountain outside. It's got the outside. It's just looking really nice. I can't wait to get inside here. There is a lot of museum in this thing, and we're not going to focus too much on the museum today. If you want, you can come here. Definitely stop by here. Go check out the museum. We're going to focus more on the ornate details and the other things inside that are beautiful and have a lot of history to them. But definitely check out the museum and definitely check this place out when you come. But we also need to learn a little bit of history about this place while we're touring it. So as I go inside and get the ticket so we can tour this place, let's learn a little bit about the overall history of Schloss Philippsruhe.
Philippsruhe Palace was built between 1701 and 1725 under Count Philip Reinhard of Hanau. The palace was designed in the Baroque style and served as a residence for the ruling family before passing through different noble lines. In the 19th century, Princess Anna of Prussia lived here with her husband. They made the palace their residence and carried out major renovations between 1875 and 1880, shaping much of the interior seen today. The palace was damaged during World War II air raids in 1945 and later restored, but in 1984 a major fire broke out during roof renovation work when blowtorches ignited the timber structure, causing significant damage to the building. The palace was once again restored and now functions as a museum and cultural site, including an exhibition connected to the famous Brothers Grimm.
So now that we've learned a little bit about the history, and I have to be a little quiet because everything echoes. This place is absolutely massive. So everything is echoing and I don't want to disturb anybody else that's in this place. But we learned a little bit about the history, but we didn't really tour the place as it deserves. So right now, I'm going to take you with me as we continue to explore this palace and just take it all in visually. So let's go. I'm going to pretend as we're touring that I knew all this information to begin with, but actually I didn't. There was a gentleman here that works here named Mikhail. Big shout out to him because he really took the history that we learned and the history that you all learned in the voiceover here, and he really contextualized it, put it into context here. And let's start with the painting here on this wall. This is the main man. He is the one who built this place. So he built this actually as a vacation home, and he later on turned into a residence. We're in the music room, and this was important because there was a princess named Anna who was in charge of a lot of major renovations. She was also a pianist, and so she loved music, and this is why you look around and you'll see musical instruments in the corners. You'll see Beethoven, Mozart, you'll see on the ceiling as the ornate design. So Princess Anna was really, really big into music, and this is why there's the music room. But if you follow me through here, what we're going to do is we're entering the dance hall. And this is where all the dancing and the balls and it's like waltzes and whatever other type of dances they were doing back then. This is where it took place. So this is really interesting. So a big shout out to Mikhail for all that information because it really added context and depth to this episode, and also for my own knowledge. And they still hold festivals here. And he also told us, interestingly enough, for all you Elvis fans out there, that Elvis would frequent the town of Hanau a lot when he was with the US military. I don't know if he was in the palace though. So obviously I've had a really good day today, and I hope you all have too. I'm still wearing the crown. I got the king things. As we learned, no king actually lived here, but there were some people that were princes and counts and things like that. I think this is more to do about the Brothers Grimm and just having fun for the kids that do come here to tour it. But I hope you guys had a great time because the palace is beautiful, the Brothers Grimm connection. We're going to be exploring more about the Brothers Grimm along the Germany fairy tale route. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. However, if you're already subscribed, you already know this, but I appreciate your support and I'm glad that you're joining me on every adventure. But it is time to go home and it is time for some dinner. So until next time, adventure awaits.